Hey, is this Cam?
Hey, Kim.
This is.
Hey, how are
How's
you?
it
It's
going?
Teddy and Sam from Don's Insiders.
How's it going, guys?
It's going well.
Great. Thanks for hopping on the call here. We just got a couple questions, about your experience in almost basketball as a whole. So, should be good.
Sounds good.
The first one here, you've had some injury troubles in the past, but how have you been able to kind of move past them, and kind of how has that impacted your college basketball experience?
I think for the first part of the question, being able to move past the injuries, sophomore year when I had to sit out in redshirt, that was probably like the hardest year of my life so far, just because there was a lot going on. I had a concussion, I had a broken jaw, I had a lot of sickness and stuff like that. So just getting over that kind of makes me feel like there's no other like injury or like series of injuries that I won't be able to get over in the future. So with me recovering from my foot right now, it's kind of the same thing where I'm kind of used to the recovery process now and kind of not getting discouraged with that, I think is a big thing. But I mean, at this point, I feel like there's no injury or series of injuries that I won't be able to get over.
Yeah, so in that game against San Diego, I think it was like 3 seconds left. You guys had just had that big comeback. You're running down the court trying to stop the ball from getting to Pinheiro. What was going through your head right when you hurt your foot?
Well, the thing about that was my foot was already fractured before that.
Oh,
so I had found out, I think it was the day before the Santa Clara game, because we played Santa Clara that Thursday and then played San Diego Saturday. So I found out that Wednesday that my foot was actually fractured, and it happened at a practice. And so I kind of knew what it was already going into the game, and they said, like, you could play on it, but it's like your decision. And so I made the decision to play against Santa Clara, and then obviously nothing happened in that game. And then so the San Diego game, it kind of just, once I fell down at the end of the game, I kind of knew, like, ooh, like, it must have got a lot worse because I felt it immediately. But I already knew what it was, so it wasn't as big of a deal as a lot of people thought.
Yeah. And then kind of transitioning to the team as a whole, how much have you seen this Waves team improve? I know it's been difficult to contribute, but when on the court, it's been really fun basketball to watch.
Yeah, I think we improved at a faster rate than I thought we would. We had a couple lulls in the season, but I think everybody learned really quickly, and our freshmen especially were getting better every single day. And I think that was really shown in our games and our practices and everything. So, I mean, I'm excited for next year in that regard, but I think we got better literally almost every single day this year, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm. And being more of a kind of a leader and, redshirt junior now, kind of being one of the older guys, how has your relationship been with the team and with coach as a whole and kind of leading that team? How have you took on that leadership role?
Yeah, my relationship overall has been great. I get along with everyone on the team well. The new coaching staff is great. I get along with them well, but they kind of just been pushing me to be more outspoken, and that's usually not like my type of role. Like, I don't really like being that type of guy. I kind of like keeping to myself and like leading by example, but being more vocal this year was a big thing, and I think I did a good job of that. But moving forward, I think I need to take it to another level. I think Coach Romar would tell you the same thing.
And what can you tell us about the camaraderie on this team, just based on the fact that through our discussions with you and Colby and what we've seen of this team, you guys do seem like the most unified team in the league. Like, you guys really have it together and you all love playing at Pepperdine.
Yeah, that's really special. I think this team has been the team with the most camaraderie out of any team that I've been on so far in my basketball career. So I think that's really special. We enjoy being around each other on and off the court. We hang out more than any team that I've been on ever has. So, I mean, I think that translates onto the court, and I think we're only going to continue to get closer. We're lucky to have pretty much the same team coming back next year, substituting Eric Cooper and Darnell Dunn for 3 incoming freshmen, and I think that's a big deal as well. So we already know each other well and all that, so I think it's just going to get better and better.
Mm-hmm. And having your brother Kessler there, what has that experience been like, having a family member and just being able to know that you really know a guy that you're playing with and also a leader on the team?
Yeah, it's really fun. When he first committed, I mean, I was kind of nervous. I was excited, but I was nervous because I didn't know how that would be, like having your brother in college with you and being able to play with him. I didn't really know what that would look like, but it feels really normal and natural. Like, it feels how it should feel, and I think it's just been really fun. And he's like one of my best friends and probably obviously one of the guys I'm closest to on the team, so it's just been really good. We've been trying to enjoy it as much as we can while just working hard together.
Yeah, so kind of thinking back to middle of conference play after you had hurt your foot. I saw you in the airport when you guys were coming back from the St. Mary's game. You were on crutches. Your team had just had 2 close losses. First, you had led by 12 against USF, almost won that, and then you had a close loss against St. Mary's. At that point in the season, what was going through your mind and what was going through the mind of the rest of your team?
I think at that point we knew we had to kind of just make a turning point because we were losing a lot of close games, and this whole season we lost a lot of close ones that we knew we could have had. So I think at that point we weren't really getting discouraged. We just knew that we had to step it up and really dial in to try to close games out. And I think towards the end of the season we kind of started to do a better job of that, but we kind of just knew we had to have a turning point at some point. But it was good that we weren't getting discouraged at that point in the season.
Yeah, we saw that a lot of great late game hustle and a lot of kind of great energy, like you're saying. How much have you seen kind of mid majors as a whole? You know, the WCC. We've seen a lot of teams, you know, be strong in the NIT and even with at the top Gonzaga and St. Mary's in the actual tournament. But how have you kind of seen these kind of mid major programs, such as Pepperdine, kind of grow and been able to take on these bigger programs?
Yeah, it's kind of something that I've started to pay more attention to. When I was a freshman, obviously I knew I was going to a mid-major, but I didn't really pay attention to how we stacked up against the bigger schools. And in the WCC this year, it was apparent that, especially in preseason games, we are going up against like Pac-12 schools and schools from Power 5 conferences, and we're either beating them or we're giving them good games. And so that was really eye-opening to me this year in terms of the West Coast Conference. But, I mean, from that standpoint, I think mid-majors are becoming really competitive. I think the WCC also is coming really competitive in terms of just Division I basketball in general.
Yeah, and kind of this idea of like a will to win against powerful teams. You go into the WCC tournament as a low seed, having to play a first-round game in the 8-9 game against Pacific. Down by double digits, you win that one. Then against LMU, down by double digits, you win that one. And then you blow out San Francisco. How did you guys have that will, and what gave you that energy to come out and beat USF by so much, a team that was in the NCAA bracketology for half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, going into the tournament, I think our coaches gave us a lot of confidence. Their excitement and their enthusiasm kind of just was exemplified through us when we played. And so the Pacific game, you know, we were playing all 3 teams that we had lost to in conference, so we kind of had a little vengeance and a little chip on our shoulder heading into those games. And the San Francisco game, obviously, when we played them at home, we felt we should have won that game. And then the second game, we played them at their place, and we were up at half. So, I mean, these were all games that we felt we should have won. So we kind of just tried to make the world know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you talked about how losing 2 players but bringing in 3 freshmen. How good do you think you guys will be next season? Because Colby, when we were talking with him a couple of months ago, he seemed to be pretty confident that you guys had the potential to compete at the top of this league and maybe make a run towards the NCAA tournament. And we see that too, having you, Colby, Kessler, leading this team, that you guys could be able to compete. How good do you think you're going to be next season?
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Colby said. I think our whole team is kind of on the same page with that. We also have the 2 Oregon transfers that are going to be able to play, so they're going to be huge pieces to our team. And, I mean, like I said, all the guys returning we have are just getting better every day, so I don't see why there's any reason why we shouldn't be at the top of the conference and be able to make a tournament run either.
Mm-hmm. And then real quick here as we're wrapping up, I just want some quick personal interest questions for the fans. Who's your favorite musical artist? Are you a Drake fan? Are you an Ariana Grande fan? It's gotta ask.
I am an Ariana Grande fan.
Great.
I would definitely say Drake is my favorite.
And then also, what is your favorite go-to shoe? Are you a Kobe fan? That's a lot of the preferred at USF. Nike, MJ. Who's your kind of shoe?
My go-to shoe. I'm a basic guy when it comes to that. I usually just wear the Hyperdunks because I gotta wear high tops. So I usually go with the Hyperdunks. But if I had to pick a person, I'd probably pick LeBron's.
And then also, who would you say is your favorite player in the NBA to watch? Curry, Durant. We're kind of Bay Area guys here, so Warriors biased here. But who's yours?
Oh man. I'd probably have to go with LeBron for that one as well.
All right, one final question. What's your plan after you graduate from Pepperdine? Are you looking to play professionally, either overseas, maybe the NBA?
Yeah, definitely. That's the plan. I'll be able to get my master's this year, and after I do that, then try to play professionally, whether that's here or overseas. And then also try to start in that entertainment business, which is something I'm interested in. So like acting, modeling, and that type of stuff. So yeah, those are the two main things that I want to do after I graduate.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, yeah,
So,
best of luck for that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks so much for talking to us. We really appreciate this. Some great insight.
Yeah.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right.